Hey there, thanks for listening and welcome to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you're looking to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact, all while staying true to who you are and the people you serve, this is the show for you. I'm Jennifer Tamborski, digital marketing strategist, fractional CMO, and founder of Virtual Marketing Experts. My team and I work with 6- and 7-figure coaches, consultants, and online entrepreneurs who are tired of playing the guru game of one-size-fits-all marketing. They're ready to create a business and marketing strategy that actually builds relationships with their ideal clients, creates massive shifts in their business, and rapidly increases their revenue. As your marketing matchmaker, I'm going to help you find the perfect marketing match for you. This show will teach you how to reach your ideal client, connect with your audience, build that perfect relationship, and generate more revenue. All through a process I like to call dating your ideal client. Now let's go have some fun. Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. I hope that you are enjoying some time this summer, or at the very least have some time scheduled to take some time off to enjoy part of your summer. I know that I am going on vacation in just a couple of weeks and am super excited to do that. I think it's really important to get away sometimes and just kind of refresh your brain and your thoughts and all of that, what's been going on this past 6 months of the year and really resetting for the remainder of the year. So I hope you are taking some time for yourself to do just that. The last couple of weeks, we have been talking about 2022, and I want to stick to that theme this week. So last week we were talking about kind of the paradigm shifts that have been happening in the digital marketing world. A lot of that having to do with things like COVID and 2020 and how people are reacting now versus last year, last month, whatever. And some of it also has to do with things like iOS 15 update and iOS 14 update and what that did to data collection and the thoughts around that. We've also talked about like what's working right now as far as marketing strategies. What's bringing in leads for clients right now. And this week, we're sticking to that theme, but I'm shifting a little away from things like funnels and ads and more into email marketing. So this week, we're talking about the changing landscape of email marketing. Now, if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator, and you do not have an email list yet, let me just tell you that you are leaving so much money on the table. It is super important for every business owner to have an email list. Quite honestly, your email list is the only thing that you can control to connect with your audience. I've said this repeatedly over the course of this podcast. Your email list is how you, as a business owner, connect with your ideal clients and your audience on a regular basis without the constriction or the control that social media can often provide. An email list remains, even in this day and age, the cornerstone of every successful business. I don't care what new trick trend app is out there. I'm telling you right now, an email list is still going to be your most important piece of your business. And when you do it well, it can really be a huge revenue source for you. So one of the things that I wanted to touch base on today is, I think I said this last week or the week before, but you guys know I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to these kind of things, and I do my best to stay on top of what has happened, what's going to happen, what's been trending, all of those things, so that I can share it with you. One of the things that happened late last year, early this year, is the iOS 15 update. I want to say it came out in like October, but don't quote me on that. It may have been earlier or later than that. Anyway, what the iOS 15 update was designed to do is, again, protect your privacy via Apple when it came to your emails. So in the past, business owners would track the success of their email marketing campaigns based on open rates, whether or not somebody opened an email. Now, Apple, there's all kinds of details, and you can dive farther into that if you want, but the reality is what Apple ended up doing is scrambling that data. So as business owners, what we have learned is that because we can't rely on the open rate, it's affecting a lot of other things like our deliverability. So without getting too terribly technical on you, Google and most email service providers actually track your URL when it comes to the emails you send. So they rate how good your URL is, how much it connects with your ideal audience based on the engagement from that audience. So in the past, when you would send an email and it would get a 20, 30, 40, 50% open rate, Google is like, check, they are a good email service provider. We're going to make sure that ends up in inboxes instead of spam folders. What happened when the iOS 15 update came about is all of that information is now scrambled, and Google isn't able to track the open rate because now we don't get from Apple products how many people have opened our emails. So they've started tracking other engagement, other ways people are engaging with your emails. What does that mean? So the whole goal from marketing in general is engagement with your audience, right? It is to get your audience to interact with you. And if you can't track the open rate, you can't really tell who on your email list is a good potential client, a good lead, and who on your email list should really just maybe not get as many emails from you. So we get to start tracking other things. Now, the easiest thing to track when it comes to your emails is the clicks. So if you're sending emails to people, my suggestion is that you do something that will have them click on your inside your email. For instance, if you're sending a video, you make sure that they click on the video to go to your website or to YouTube or whatever in order to watch the full video. Or if you're sending a blog post, you send a small portion of it with a click that will send them to your website so that they can, again, read the blog on your website. That will start to tell Google and your email service providers in general that you have good deliverability, which will make sure that your emails continue to be delivered in inboxes instead of spam folders or promotions folders, which will help tremendously when it comes to getting your message in front of the right person at the right time. Some other things that you really want to make sure that you're doing is that the content you are sending to people is interesting, relevant, and valuable to them. If it is not something that's going to connect with them, and they're not going to want to continue reading it or watching it or listening to your podcast, whatever that might be, however you're connecting with your audience, then if the people who are getting it aren't actually interested in it, that's going to tank your deliverability. What you're able to do with your email automations is track that kind of information. Again, we're going back to that old data information, right? That data gives you a lot of insight into the health of your email list. And keeping a healthy email list is super important Because if you're sending out, let's say, an email to 1,000 people, and of those 1,000 people, only 2 are opening it, you have a less than 1% engagement and deliverability for your emails, which then tells people like Google and your email service provider that the people you're sending these emails to just aren't interested in you, which makes them throttle back your deliverability, dump things into promotions, dump things into spam. So you really want to make sure that you keep your email list as healthy as possible by moving people who aren't actually interested in what you're saying off of your email. It is okay to do this, honestly, once a month. I usually do it once a quarter, but it's just a matter of making sure that your email list is healthy. It can really affect how your emails are delivered if you don't focus on the list health. There are different automations you can set up to help you with this, different ways you can track people and score them depending on what email service provider you're using. Just keep in mind that it's incredibly important to actually follow through with this process. So you also want to make sure that you are sending to the right message to the right people at the right time. And in order to make sure that your email ends up in their inbox at the right time. So sometimes you can gradually move people off your list. Maybe someone's brand new to your list and you're sending them 5 or 6 welcome series emails. And then during that process, you may notice that they don't engage with your emails. So maybe you send them into a different list that only gets emails once a month. And then maybe that once a month email, if they're still not engaging, you move them off entirely into a list where they don't get emails from you at all. There are multiple ways to go about doing this, but really being aware of it is the first step. Make sure that you're keeping your email list as clean as humanly possible. As I said earlier, in the past, we focused on the open rate, and open rates are no longer an option to track. So instead, we want to track our clicks. Also, remember that whole introduction phase of dating your ideal client where you dove really deep into who your ideal client is? Your email list should be composed of mainly your potential ideal clients, which means you want to make sure that you're sending the emails to the right people, that you know everything about who your ideal client is and the message they need to hear in order to move through your process. Emails are, I won't say never, but the likelihood of them going away isn't real high. So by really focusing on cleaning up your email list and making sure that your email has a high deliverability rate, you are then better able to create a customer journey that will help people get from cold to warm to let me buy everything you have, which in the long run is what is going to help you grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple iTunes and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.